as a country, we don't make education number one anymore, education essential anymore. And now we're ranked number 18 in the whole entire world, and we used to be number one. It's kind of saddening. You kind of see where, our priorities as a country went, because it's definitely not on education. So I feel as though if we put ourselves in that position of a high school dropout, I feel like we can better empathize with them and try to help.
We have a conversation right now, but I feel like we need to take action. We need to find solutions to these problems. That's what we need to figure out.
I think when it comes down to whether or not youth involvement is important, I think it's very important, because hearing criticism or hearing somebody inspire you, going through the same things you're going through, that makes it more accessible, makes it more personable, makes it more easy to listen to, because you're able to relate.
Education is the gateway to hope. Just go to school. Remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Don't back down. Just be courageous enough and to know that you're doing this not only for yourself, but for generations to follow.
Here, I think it's really, really, really important for the youth to be involved, because I remember when I was in high school and you have teachers or counselors telling you what to do, and you're like, please, you don't know what it's like, you don't know what I'm going through, but then to have someone who is exactly like you, your age, or going through the same things you are, it impacts you, and it's a big deal, and it motivates you when you have that peer-to-peer experience. So I think it's really important for us youth to be able to motivate each other, and if you find out about something, to share it with me, and for both of us to be able to get to places together.
I am change.
If someone is in an environment where they aren't being asked the questions and being pushed to pursue these higher types of education because they are a minority or because they're different, it can really create a gap between the majority and the minority.
I went to a public school back in Rhode Island, and it's an urban school. We definitely had our own issues with students dropping out and not making it to senior year. I know we had I think half of our class didn't make it from freshman year to senior year. So I think it's just it's definitely something we need to address. It's something we need to do better on as a whole country, as a whole school system. And the people that end up not making it is what definitely affects me most, because a lot of them are people that I know, people I grew up with, people that look like my family. So it's really hard to see all of these issues and to know that they're still going on year after year.
So it's always great to start early and exposing your mind to all different types of cultures and different types of learning, mathematics, reading, and just getting used to that way of learning so that it won't be hard in the future, because work will get harder the older you get. But if you adapt to it earlier, it wouldn't be hard because you're used to it.
Youth is good if it's positive, but when we have positive role models, then that can be helpful for us too, because they've been in our place before, and we can emulate what they did. We can, not imitation, but emulation, because when we emulate, we try to surpass them. We think, okay, I want to be just like that, but I also want to exceed what they're doing.
One of the teachers at Cardinal Ritter, Mr. Lyons, he's a big inspiration to me because he challenges me so much, but it's not like a challenge that's bad. He challenges you to go outside your comfort zone, to be who you are, but also exceed others' expectations of you.
Who do I look up to? Well, I think one story is my granddad back there. My granddad, he was, his story is amazing. He started off as a sharecropper in Mississippi, and then he moved to St. Louis and, got a factory job, and now he's happily retired with a nice Chrysler 300 outside. But, it's not the orthodox way to the top, but, he basically he just did like the old-fashioned way of just working really hard, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be.
I grew up in a single-parent household. It was just my mother and I. I was the only child, so having like positive male role models was like a void in my life, and so that's why, as a kid, my mom put me in Big Brothers Big Sisters, and so my big brother, he was in graduate school at the time. It's ironic. I'm in grad school now. He kind of served as that person to say, okay, there's people out there that do have a desire to stick with education all the way through the highest levels and go on to make something out of themselves.
What steps could you take to help?
I think the biggest thing I can do is be the best that I can be, is to serve as a role model, do my best to show others that you can do it. Like everybody, I've had my trials and tribulations. My story isn't the best. I've been through things, and I know how it feels to be verbally abused. I get it.
I have seen people within the community who have been very active encouragers, such as the Demetrius Johnson, the Better Family Life Foundation, and their American Graduate Program that encourage you to stay in school and to let them know that there's always a way out.
That's a huge key to believing in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, then nothing is possible. It's a thing in psychology that we call learned helplessness. It's when you basically, it's a stimulus that repeats itself, and you feel like nothing's going to change. And so most people believe that their parents grew up in poverty, that their parents grew up in poverty, they keep having a cycle that is going to keep happening, but you got to break this. And part of believing in yourself is, again, changing your views on society.
I say this, never let someone tell you that you can't do something, especially if where they're going in life is nowhere past where you've been. Never let anyone tell you that you can't do something, especially if they haven't done what you're trying to do. Because we are all capable of achieving great things, and we all have potential for greatness. So always remember that there's hope. Encourage yourself and believe in yourself, and most importantly, love yourself.
Loving oneself isn't hard when you understand who and what yourself is. It has nothing to do with the shape of your face, the size of your eyes, the length of your hair, or the quality of your clothes. It's so beyond all of those things, and it's what gives life to everything about you. Your own self is such a treasure. You have to sit kind of quietly and ask, who am I? Who am I really?
Stop trying to fit in, be yourself. That's how I feel.
Judgment, yeah, that's a big thing in society right now. People are afraid of being judged, but I also feel that if you are who you are, then you shouldn't be afraid to be. This thing is conformity, and so if you conform to society, then you're basically a part of that stereotype. You're a part of that stereotype, but in order to break the stereotype, you must not be afraid to be judged, because I'm told that I'm very different. I'm different. Like, and I dress, like the way I act is different, and so I'm not afraid to be judged. And so I think if you constantly just confront judgment with your own views, then you'll break this cycle, I guess.
Gambaru, a Japanese term which means never give up, especially if there's no chance of winning. Self-determination.
When I was in middle school, I had a lot going on at home, and it was really, really hard to focus in class. And my problem is that I was like a really, really good student. In middle school, I was like the top of my class, and then all of a sudden, my grades started dropping. And at that point, it got like the school administration, they noticed that when your grades start dropping, the school gets involved, and they tried to make that help me, but it really hurt me. And I feel like that's a problem for a lot of kids, because
If the administration is pulling you out, you have too many people trying to counsel you, trying to help you, it really doesn't help you focus on your academics.
I can remember just going to school every single day and not putting effort into anything. Ever since the 4th grade, I've been moving around from city to city, so it was just like this inconsistency, this constant movement that just made me bored with school, just made me give up. Freshman year, I wasn't even doing good in high school. I ended freshman year with a 2.8, and sophomore year something clicked. At the end of sophomore year, I got a 3.4, and it just raised that high. And I don't know what, I think it was more so jealousy and anger. I was angry that my mom, I wasn't angry at my mom, I was angry with, I guess, the world, because my mom was 15 when she had me, when she had my sister, and 16 when she had me in high school, and she went straight to college afterwards and didn't stop till she got her master's. And so I'm like, she can get her master's and then just do all this, and she's breaking the stereotypes of teen pregnancy, not going to college, and why can't anybody give her a job? Why can't anybody help our struggle stop? And so I think I was jealous of the doctors I saw, like everybody around I saw striving, and so I'm like, you know what, I want that too.
Well, being first generation in the United States, it kind of hit home to me because I understand the struggles and everything has to take in order for me to graduate. I obviously had a lot of help throughout my childhood. My mom became a teacher just so she can educate me the way she wants me to be educated. Spanish is my first language, and because I first lived in Miami, Florida, and everybody spoke Spanish there. I lived in a Spanish community. And when I moved to St. Louis, I was about 3 or 4 years old. We moved to St. Louis, and that's when I started learning English. I was put in many speech classes, so that was kind of difficult for me to go through.
We are change.
Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek.
I think we need to basically reinvent the education system. That's when we need to start. We need to start thinking innovative. We have an education system that's based off from the 1950s. We need to speed up and get to where we are now, which is 2013.
If we continue to put education on the back burner, then that's where our country's going to be, and everybody in other nations are going to be succeeding against us, and I think that that's sad. I think we just need to prioritize and need to maybe get more funding in schools for different activities, because, you know, it's not just a problem that's just we can just, you know, dust under the rug or sweep under the rug, because it's not going anywhere. We just need to do better as a whole and as a whole country of educating our children better, having more funding, being more interested in actually finding people that are passionate about what they do instead of it just being a factor of money.
I think we need to put passion back into school and embrace the idea of learning. I think we have so many examples of adults who do things they don't love. They work these 9-to-5 jobs, which are great because, you know, in today's society, it's, you know, difficult to get a job. But we see people who, they've reached some success, but they aren't happy. And I think if we were able to show students and get to the root of what makes them happy, then we can tie that into education. And again, the possibilities are endless.
Be compassionate towards those who are struggling and thinking about dropping out of high school. We do need more compassionate teachers in the classroom.
If we paid more attention to, you know, helping the students, you know, and having those teachers that are passionate and putting, like I said, the resources in the school.
In regards to my experiences, my students a lot of the times don't want to go to school because they feel that they are not supported academically because they do have learning disabilities or learning impairments. And sometimes as a teacher, I'm not given resources to help them out.
If you have learning disabilities or your academic career is not up to par and it's not at that standpoint level that you would like it to be at, then you need to be tutored, and that's a solution. We need teachers who are willing to stay after school and help these students learn and get the material and grasp the concepts so that they will ace the test
when you take standardized tests, such as the ACT, the SAT, even if you take pre-tests, to take those tests. Study for them. Make sure that you understand the material. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And always be curious about learning and be inquisitive about whatever subject it is in the classroom.
It's a solution now. One way we can benefit is maybe go into a more socialist approach towards school. Maybe actually evenly distribute out, resources towards the school and don't just benefit the schools with like higher test scores. Because if you're only benefiting the schools with higher test scores, then you're making those schools better and leaving the lower schools behind. And then if those kids from the inner city can't get to those, county schools, then who are you really helping? It's a cycle that continues. So one way to benefit it is then to just maybe focus more resources on those schools. Maybe take away resources from the schools, because they're already doing good. They're already high flying, have 95 college attendance rates. Go to those schools where it's maybe a 25% dropout rate. Maybe only 28% of students go to college later. Focus on those schools. I think that would be a great solution.
Different ways that a community can and ought to promote inclusion, especially for young people. The first thing to do is just be welcoming, be friendly, and show that love for all people. And the next thing is really investing and fostering that, and that's creating programs that give people leadership roles, academic assistance, and also the social services they need. And one way we can be inclusive is actually showing that we're ready to help and investing dollars, investing time and volunteer work and assisting people.
There's too many distractions in society nowadays for teenagers. In the, like you said, 60s and 70s, there was school, then you got a job, and then you were done. Now, it's school, it's social networking, it's parties, nowadays the city is a lot bigger. Well, it's bigger, but it's smaller. Everybody in the city, there's so many things you can get caught up in. People got family issues at home, and then nowadays we gotta go to high school, college, graduate school, professional school just to make it by in life. Teenagers can't handle it.
It's so many different things going on, especially your freshman year. Your freshman year, you see jocks, then you see the cheerleaders, and then you want to fit in with somebody. You want to sit at somebody's table, especially on the first day. And then next thing you know, you forget to do your schoolwork. You forget to go home when your mom says go home. You are out all night. Your sleep schedule messes up because you want to stay on the phone and talk to some new girl or some new boy.
Be the change.
Because this is 45 youth, I feel like if we have more people standing up, youth, and saying, oh, that's not right, then that's when things will change.
I just want to show students that you can overcome anything, that if you really want something, you can get it. So my plan is to work my hardest to be the best I can be and then give back in any way that I can.
I would say to that student who is very dismayed or discouraged that there's always hope. And if you're not a very religious person, but if you are, then I'll say look to your higher power. And remember that God has a purpose for your life.
God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. So anything that you're going through, God wouldn't put you through it if he didn't think that you could do it. So you're obviously going through it because he thinks that you're strong enough to not only make it through, but to be better because of it. Understand that every experience that you go through, good and bad, they shape you for the good, for the better. Because when you go through something bad, you know what you don't want in your life, and it redirects your focus for what you do want.
You shouldn't throw your life away.
Soul search. Think about who you are, what you want to be, and where you want to go in life.
It is very important for the youth to speak up, and many times those are the same voices that are not heard. And so youth are the ones that are in the schools, that are seeing how their friends are dropping out, their neighbors are dropping out, or are seeing how that impacts the whole community. And it makes me really sad when the youth are the ones that want to share those experiences and they're not being heard. And so that's why all the youth needs to come together, because it's like you're all able to create this big voice.
The power we have alone is no match for the power that we have together. Because when we are together, we ignite change.
Take charge and take advantage of great opportunities that will benefit you.
My name is Dominique Dahl. I'm in the graduating class of 2016, and I plan on going to college after high school.
My name is Jamie Cox. I'm a graduating senior at Cardinal Ritter College Prep, and I'm aspiring to become a lawyer.
My name is Malik Shakur. I'm the graduating class of 2014 at Clayton High School. I'm an aspiring actor and cinematographer.
My name is Shani Marie Redding. I'm in the class of 2014 at Cardinal Ritter College Prep. I want to aspire to be a doctor and an activist.
My name is Ariana Watson. I am a part of the graduating class of 2014 at UCD High School, and I'm aspiring to be a psychologist.
I am Jayla Jenkins, graduating class of 2014 of University City High School. I aspire to be an accountant.
Hi, my name is Brianna Martin. I'm in the 5th grade. I will soon be an architect.
My name is Haley Morris. I'm part of the graduating class of 2014. I plan to enroll in Florida A&M University, and I plan to major in biological agriculture and systems engineering.
My name is Diamond Martin. I'm in the graduating class of 2014. I go to Cardinal Ritter College Prep. I'm aspiring to be a doctor and a lawyer.
I'm Candace Murdoch, and I am the class of 2014, and I plan on majoring in political science.
My name is Gabrielle Hayes. I'm a part of the graduating class of 2014. I go to Cardinal Ritter College Preparatory High School. I aspire to be a broadcast journalist.
Hi, my name is Julia Green. I am a Cardinal Ritter College Preparatory Junior, class of 2015. I aspire to be a broadcast journalist and a creative writer, and I am change.
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 I am change.
And I am change.
And I am change.
And I am change.
And I am change.